Hello and welcome to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Today we're going to be doing a comparison on the Kamado Joe Big Joe 3 using the SloRoller and the Broil King pellet smoker. And we're going to be having a look at doing a pork butt. We've got two 6 kilo pork butts. People say that the pellet smoker comes out better than what the Kamado does, and the Kamado people say that the charcoal taste is a lot better on pulled pork. So we're going to put it down to the test and we're going to see how we go. And personally I think the Broil King is going to turn out better. The pork butts that I've done in the past have been absolutely incredible, so juicy. But I know that the Kamado Joe's SloRoller is really next level technology. I think it's going to be a good comparison. So grab yourself a beer and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the two pork butts that we've got are from Sherwood. Online butchers. Really nice big pork butts. They're both 6 kilos each, and yeah, they're looking absolutely great. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the top layer of skin off of this and trim it back to a bit of the fat, and then we're going to season it with a Traeger rub, which I'll show you when I'm going to season it. And then yeah, let's go and set the grills up. Okay, so we're going to use the Broil King apple blend here. So this is apple and oak. Last time I did the comparison, the Broil King was super efficient, and I wonder whether it may be down to the density of the competition blend of pellet that I was using. So it'll be interesting to see on this video how many pellets this does actually use. So let's fill up the hopper and turn it on. Okay, so filled up the hopper. Haven't filled it up completely this time, just to see how we go with it. Again, space isn't going to be an issue in this grill. There's so much room in here. So last time when we did the brisket, we set this in at 107 and we never really got a bark on the brisket. So this time I'm going to set it in at 107 for the first 3 to 4 hours, just get some real nice smoke flavour into it, and then I'm going to increase the temperature to 125 degrees to try and get a bark on it. So let's turn her on, press the smoke button, and boom, she's ready. So let's leave the lid open for the next 5 to 10 minutes, let the fire get going, let the smoke start rolling, and then we'll come back. Okay, so here's the Kamado. Again, as always, I use green olive charcoal as a base layer. And then on top of that, I use British Stag charcoal, which I'm using the apple flavour today, obviously because I'm using apple pellets to make it fair. I've also got some apple wood chunks that I've put in there as well to get a bit of added flavour as well. So let's light this up. So you only need one fire lighter, I find, when you're doing it low and slow. And let's just do the I command. 1 second. Okay, so here's the I command. Click cook. Pick temperature of 120. When I go pork, we're aiming for 93 degrees internal, although I always seem to go to about 96. I find you get extra juice. Food probe 1. Start I command. And there you go, fire's going. I command's on. And let's wait for this to go up to temperature. Okay, so the Broil King is first to come up to temperature. It did actually only take 20 minutes, but I've been trimming the meat. And the Kamado is just getting there. Bit of smoke coming out the top, so probably another 10 minutes and that'll be there as well. Okay, so we have both pork butts here. I'm going to be using this Traeger rub, which is a personal favourite of mine. It's garlic chili pepper. I find it really nice on pork butts. So we're going to season this. I don't like to put too much on, but I find it spoils the flavour, because you're really wanting to get that nice apple smoke flavour in there. Okay, so they're all seasoned. I'm just going to let that soak in for the next 10-15 minutes, just waiting for the KJ to come up to temperature, and then we will get the water pans on and get it ready. Okay, so here's the water pans. We've got some bourbon whiskey, some orange juice, a bit of apple cider, a bit of apple vinegar cider, and some Worcestershire sauce, and we're going to put that in both of them. We're also going to be spraying both pork butts with the solution as well, and we're probably going to start spraying it about after an hour, I think. Okay, the Broil King is also up to temperature and ready to go. It's been sat steady now for 15 minutes on 107 degrees, so it's really sturdy. Let's chuck the pork butt on here and put the probe in. And we'll come back in about an hour to spray. Okay, so an hour in now on the Broil King. Let's have a look how she's doing. It's looking good. I'm just going to give it a little spray. Get that nice and hydrated. And let's see how the KJ's doing. KJ1's looking good. Okay, we'll give it another hour and we'll pop back and we'll turn up the temperature on the Broil King. Okay, so we're another hour on. Let's just check how the KJ's doing. Give it a little spray. And let's have a look at the Broil King. Okay, so the Broil King. Definitely got a nicer colour to it, I would have said, at the moment compared to the Kamado Joe. Okay, we're also going to increase the temperature on this as well. So to increase the temperature, what we do, turn this little dial here to 125, which is the same as what the KJ set at. Press the enter button. And it's as simple as that, and you'll pump more pellets in and increase it to 125. Let's pop back in another hour. Okay, we're now 4 hours in on the Kamado Joe. Really getting a nice bark on this now. Looking great, so let's give it a spray. And we'll come back to this one in an hour and we'll have a look at the Broil King. Okay, let's have a look at the Broil King. Again, it's getting a nice bark on it. Quite happy with how that's looking at the moment. It's reading 38 degrees internal temperature. The Kamado Joe's reading 39 degrees, so they are cooking at a very similar temperature. Let's give this another spray. Okay, and I think we'll pop back on this one in another hour, and I think we'll probably be at the 45 degree mark. Okay, so we're 5.5 hours now. So let's have a look at the Broil King. Oh, it's getting a really nice bark on it. Really looking nice. Give this one last spray. This is at 60 degrees internal temperature at the moment. So probably another hour, I think, and we're going to wrap. I like to wrap quite early. Okay, let's have a look at the KJ. Okay, the Kamado Joe. Looking good. Again, I think it's got a better bark than what the Broil King has. And this is currently at 58 internal temperature. So again, I think another hour and we'll wrap this one as well. Hello, welcome back. Just a quick update on both the pork butts. The Kamado Joe one is currently at 61 degrees internal temperature. It's been going for just over 6 hours now, so it has shot up a little bit in the last hour or so, and it's really caught up with the Broil King. The Broil King's currently on 64 degrees internal temperature. I think I'm probably going to go to 68 degrees, and then I'm going to wrap them both in a special liquid that I make up, which I will show you how to do shortly. So once again, the Kamado Joe not moved the whole time. The eye command doing its job as it should do, completely solid. And yeah, it's looking good. And the Broil King, so since I increased it, 63 degrees there, just coming up the 6 hours mark. Not as economical on pellets as what it was when I was doing the briskets. I do think it's got to do with the density of the competition pellets, whereas the apple ones are quite a light density, and I think that's why they burn a lot faster. But still, it's, you know, it's running economical. I'm going to top it up, for obviously I'll leave it on the overnight. And again, not such a bark. Cooking at a different temp. But yeah, it's definitely getting there. Okay, so here's a solution that I'm going to use to put in the pan when I cook the next stage of the cook. So we've got some just orange juice here, got some cider, some Worcestershire sauce, some apple vinegar cider, a little bit more whiskey. Need to get another bottle of this because I've nearly run out. Some clear honey. And what you want to do is some brown sugar. Just put a bit of this in there. And we're going to use the rest to sprinkle over the top, and then mix it all together, and you get a really nice sugary solution. You pour this over the top, which I'll show you how to do when I get the pork butts off. Okay, so this is the Broil King pork butt. So what we're going to do is pour this solution over the top, and then you get your sugar. You spoon it out and glaze the top. So you've got this lovely sugar and honey that sets as a glaze. Okay, and then we just wrap it. So then all I've done, put some silver foil over the top, secure it all in. And then those juices as well, they heat up and they steam, and it really gets into the meat, and you get such good flavour from it, really good flavour. So let's chuck this back on the grill now. Okay, so she's in. We're going to leave that one in overnight and come back in the morning and see how it's doing. Okay, and here's the Kamado Joe pork butt. And we'll wrap that one too. And that is the Kamado Joe pork butt wrap, so let's chuck that one back on the grill as well. And again, the Kamado Joe one is back on the grill, and we're going to leave that one overnight until the morning and see whether we can get to 96 degrees internal temp. Okay, so it's now 1 AM here in England, and we have just put both the pork butts on the Kamado Joe and the Broil King. We're going to leave them now overnight, set the temperatures in on the eye command, and we've set the temperature in again on the Broil King, so they're both at 125 degrees. So we shouldn't have any flare-ups during the night. This cook has gone a lot smoother than what my brisket one did, and I'm not having a particularly late night and an early start, so I should be nice and fresh in the morning. Remember, if you are enjoying this video, please click like below, subscribe and ring the little bell as well, and you can see some more comparison videos that I'm going to be uploading in the very near future. So yeah, join me in the morning for the results of the pork butts. Okay, so it's now 7:30 in the morning. These are now showing 97 degrees each, which is where we want to be. They are probing, literally, probe just falls through, which is what we want. So let's get the KJ one off and put it in the cooler. Okay, and the Broil King one is also reading the same. Let's just probe this. Minimal resistance. I think this one actually feels softer, if I'm honest. So let's get this one off and get this one in the cooler. Okay, so a little round up of the night. We've swapped the beers for a nice coffee. Yeah, the Kamado Joe performed really well. We had a little spike in the middle of the night where it went up to 142 degrees, but then did drop back down. That was the only spike that we had. Other than that, it's remained consistent the whole time, all the way through. The Broil King, again, no issues at all, no spikes, no nothing. Literally it's held that 125 degree temperature all night without any issues, and yeah, really performed solidly. Both pork butts are now in the coolers, so we're going to rest them for about 3 hours. As you saw from the videos, they are very, very tender, which is what I like in my pork butts. So yeah, so we're going to rest them for about 3 hours, and yeah, come back. And I personally think the Broil King one felt better to me, felt more tender. So the taste test, I think, will be the final deciding point for me. But yeah, let's have a look at the grills and what coal is left over in the Kamado and how many pellets left over in the Broil King, and let's see how well they performed in terms of an economy aspect. Okay, so first up, the Broil King. I did fill it up again last night as well, so those apple pellets do burn very, very quickly. I would have said I probably used half a bag on this cook, which is I think it's 4.5 kilos worth, is what I would have used on this cook. So not massively economical with those apple pellets, but with the competition with the blend, it barely used any at all. And the Kamado Joe, you know, we had a full box, but there's still enough left over to cook my breakfast. Really economical, as you can see. I think there's still a base layer of charcoal in that as well. And yeah, still some real good sized chunks left, just burning away, and it still smells very appley, which is what you want really. So it's done apple the whole way through the cook. Okay, so here's the Broil King one. It's been sat now for a couple of hours. It's really, really tender. It's literally falling apart. So let's just get the bone out. Literally clean bone, really, really clean bone. There's nothing left on that bone. And then yeah, let's just go into it. Whoa, this is so juicy, so juicy. Really, really nice little bit of smoke on that as well. You can see that on the camera. Really good bit of smoke. I think this is going to be hard to beat, you know. This is really, really juicy. Look at that, just literally just pulling apart. Nothing. So let's shred this all up, and okay, so we shredded it all up. Just look at that. That is just incredibly moist. Really, really good. I really think the KJ is going to struggle to beat this, to be honest. That is just the perfect pulled pork. You've got the beautiful smoke rings on that. You've got the hard little bit of crust as well from the bark, and it is just absolutely incredible. So let's cover this back up, and we will have a look at the KJ one. Okay, and here's the Kamado Joe one. I think it's got a better bark. Like I said previously with the brisket, it's definitely got a better bark. Again, really tender. You can see the tenderness of it. Let's just get the bone out. The bone not as clean. Didn't come out as easy. But again, you can see there's no meat on that, so it's just pulled apart. And now let's go in and see what it's like. Oh. Super. Still super warm as well, hard to touch. It's definitely not as tender as the Broil King. But let's get the claws on it, we'll cover up and come back. And here's the Kamado Joe one. Now it's all shredded up, it is really, really juicy. It didn't shred as easy as the Broil King, I will just say, but you can see it's got some nice smoky rings on it. And look, I mean, just look at it, it just smells incredible. And yeah, really happy with how both of these have turned out, to be honest. It's going to be definitely down to the taste test, as they both have turned out super juicy. So yeah, let's get them side by side and let's do a taste test. Okay, so this one's the Broil King. Looking really good. Then we come on to the Kamado. Okay, hopefully you can see me alright. So we're going to do a little taste test on these now and see which one has turned out better on the taste side of things. We're going to start with the Broil King. I personally thought it had a better feel to it as such, so let me just pick up a little bit of this. So just a little sample. Cool. The smoke flavour on that is insane. You can really taste all the apple pellets in it. That is really good. I seriously rate that. Seriously rate that. Moving on to the Kamado. It was a little bit harder to pull. So it wasn't as juicy, but once I did mix it up and pull it all together, it was nice and juicy. So let's try this. Again, really good. It's got that lovely apple wood flavour to it. You can really taste it. I rate that as well, to be honest with you. There's not much in it. Again, I think it boils down to if you want a really nice smoky flavour to it, then the Broil King 100% hands down is the better one. But I think if you know the texture of that one is definitely, it's not as juicy. It depends if you like juicy. I think if you like juicy, the pellet smoker, hands down the winner, hands down the winner. But the Kamado Joe has definitely got a nice texture to the meat. So to sum up, I've loved this cook. It's been really good. I've enjoyed the fact that it wasn't a ridiculously late night and an early morning start, like the briskets that I did. So that's always a positive. My personal favourite on this one, I think, is the Broil King. I think it's so easy to use. You turn it on and just forget about it, and away you go. And I think the pulled pork turns out so much more juicy, which is what I think I prefer in pulled pork, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, that is what I would go with as a winner on this one. Fair play to the Broil King, great bit of kit. If you have enjoyed this video, please like it, and please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. Got some more comparisons doing. Somebody asked me about doing a reverse sear steak on the Broil King, and yeah, I have got a couple of big steaks on order, so I think I'm going to do a comparison between the Kamado Joe and the Broil King. The Broil King can get to 300 degrees, so we'll be seeing whether it can get a good sear, and obviously the Kamado Joe we know can get to 500 degrees quite easy, so we'll be seeing what we can do with that as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and join me again next time for another great video. Thank you very much, guys.